What's up guys, Mike here with Rapid Purple, and we're coming back with yet another mouse video. So I think we're starting to develop a little bit of a pattern here. This time, talking about that Kensington Expert Mouse that I kind of briefly showcased in the same video where I introduced the Zelotes T90, and I'll link over to that one, which as you guys can see is still working beautifully, and I love it. It's going great, and I actually have a couple more of those over around the office now, so those are doing good. Anyway, back over to the Kensington Expert Mouse here that I love, and I've had this for many years now. It's still a very popular device, and to be honest with you, they really haven't changed a whole lot with it over the years. The design now looks a little bit different, however the functionality of it remains exceptionally the same. I absolutely love this thing, and I figured it was about time to give it its own proper video and review. And kind of an explanation as to why I have carried this with me from system to system, and why this is something that I feel I must have on every, well, single workstation of mine, even though I tend to use this type of mouse very frequently. Let's dig into this. So, let me just kind of show you guys something real quick here. So here's the general concept of how you're sitting with the Kensington. Now, this is essentially the amount of movement that your hand has to make on an average day-to-day use. That same exact concept over here. Now, I realize on here I have my DPI button, and I could, when the need for it arises and I have to go and traverse from one monitor over to the other, I can go ahead and quickly switch the DPI and then switch back. But this still poses a little bit of an annoyance, and let me show you what that is. Get over to the third monitor. So I like to be kind of a little bit in the middle, and I forget which number is which at this point, but let's say that I go over to my quick setting, and boom, I go over there, do what I have to do, paste my thing, go back. Now back to my normal mode over here. I didn't have to do any of those movements here. And you know what? When you start to get a little bit tired at the end of the day, a little bit lazy, this is just really comfortable. This is the most laid-back way you can accomplish a ton of work at your computer. It's just as soon as you put your hand on here, you feel like putting the back of the chair, you know, a little bit leaned out and relax a little bit, and you still work freely and comfortably, and things are just so simple. Movements are so easy. Now, this has a ton of various different benefits and programs. It actually comes with a great piece of software called Trackball Works, where you can customize what, well, essentially every little bit of this thing does. How fast this thing scrolls when you use the scroll wheel that's on it, how fast this thing goes with the trackball. The buttons, what they do, where they go to, what happens when you click both the top ones at the same time or both the bottom ones at the same time. All of this is customizable, it's flexible, and all of this can be set for various different programs or globally. So you can really get to a lot of different modes and so forth with it. Personally, I have to do a ton of internet browsing, internet work, various different office related things. The whole scrolling and viewing things, and it's a constant process for me. And this thing just does it so wonderfully and intuitively, and apart from being able to do things such as set the actual scroll speed, you can actually give it an option called an inertia scroll, which means that the harder that I go ahead and flick this thing, the more it's going to scroll and the faster it will go down the page. an awesome little feature, especially for somebody that has to sit there and do a ton of different scrolling. Awesome and convenient. The whole entire unit itself, I'd say, is probably just under 2 pounds. And again, mine is a little bit loud at this point, and it's much more louder than it was when I first got it. However, still, honestly, I don't really notice it much. Extremely convenient. I don't get enough. As you can see, I have gotten my use out of this thing definitely over the years, and this has started to rub off, but keep in mind that I have had this device for probably well over 3 years at this point, so it's very possible that this is just kind of an excess amount of use, and most people may have broken theirs by now. Regardless, it's currently up on Amazon actually for $64.49 if you are an Amazon Prime member. However, that does not include the little pad over here. Truth be told, I tried to do some searching and I can't actually find it with the pad anywhere online. So that's kind of weird to me, but nonetheless, it's definitely more than the $20 Zelotes mouse that's over here right next to it, but it is so well worth it just for the sheer ergonomic feel of it and just for how comfortable it makes various office tasks and various web development and webmaster tasks, just with the ability to scroll about through things much more easier. Video editors, you guys will love this. When you go ahead and scrolling through an extremely long timeline that you have zoomed into so that you can clip and cut the perfect pieces, this is awesome. The ability to be able to just pop up, select your timeline, and then slowly start scrolling second through second and so forth is extremely useful. The ability at having all of your different keys and being able to map out specific shortcuts for the application that you're in so that you could, for example, map out a split to happen automatically when you hit the upper left key and scroll through your things, hit to select, scroll more, hit to select the end, boom, split, maybe cut. That's pretty useful and awesome. And it's these little moments like this that's really why this has traveled with me from device to device and why I am such a huge fan of this. It's a little bit of a weird device, and it definitely starts conversations when people come and see this and go, well, what in the world is that even? And honestly, it is probably the hardest to explain, but once you just sit down and put your hand on it and use it for a couple of hours, you'll truly understand where trackball mice came to be and why I think that this is probably one of the better units that are out there and definitely my favorite. It's the Kensington Expert Mouse. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a like if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I'll see you soon.